What's up, everybody? I just want to say enjoy these Dwayne Bacon videos while we have them because we're very close to unveiling a new video. And I don't know how much longer we're going to pump out Dwayne Bacon. So enjoy it while we got it. Welcome to Happy Hour, everybody. We are joined by Mr. Dog Sherman. Lou, what's going on, man?
How's it going? Do you make those videos yourself, or do you have someone who makes them?
So we've got our man Rock and or Roll, who Team Hold member. He creates all the joints. He creates all the music, and then G Dunn, our man Greg, one of the hosts, he does a lot of the editing of every. He's a wizard with that stuff. Like he's like really good at pumping those things out. So yeah, somewhat in house, but Rock and Roll with the music. I mean, the stuff is always fire.
Like they're always like cringe enough, but cool in a way. You know what I mean? Like no one else is doing a video like that, but it also like I appreciate it at the same time. Like there's definitely effort put into it and like thought behind it, and like supposed to look a little weird. So I do like when you show videos like that.
I think it's like wildly alienating to new people, while anyone that's been here before is like, hell yeah, we're in on the joke. Like we're part of the team. So it's which I guess is a tactic to make people feel part of the community. We pump out weird ass videos.
Does everybody just own Dwayne Bacon's and on Team Hold? Is that
I think so.
thing?
We just did like a Team Hold tournament, and the moment ended up being Sadiq Bey. So we're now all Sadiq Bey stands.
Is there still only one Dwayne Bacon moment? I remember he was the bottleneck at one point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's only one Dwayne Bacon. I don't think he's playing in the NBA right now. Like he's done so. I'm pretty sure. He was one of those guys that when COVID was really cooking and everyone was getting a 10-day contract, he was like Dwayne Bacon in the news, but I don't think he played enough games to get a second moment. Yeah, here we go. Confirmed in the Euro League. There we go.
Wow.
Lou, what's going on, man? I was excited to talk to you because I was first introduced to you through like Overzet stuff and like seeing you in the chat there, and then seeing some of your Club NGMI stuff, and then to see you go all the way to Lucky Trader. But I'm like very curious of what was your, well, and I'm sure you've answered this a million times, but what was like your intro to all of this?
Yeah, it did start with Pete Overzet's Discord. I joined it probably the end of 2020 as like DFS, like fantasy sports kind of stuff, and had been following Pete for a little while and figured, I should join. I was already like in Discord playing just like video games with my friends kind of thing. Yeah. And then through Pete's Discord, and he had streams with like Peter Jennings and then obviously like Jack Settleman. I'm one of the I joined Top Shot because of Bale's post, but I had previously got into CryptoKitties like 3 years ago or whatever from a Bale's tweet. And so I had like heard of NFTs before. I knew what they were. I got into them a little bit. Like I had a MetaMask that I went back in and it had some Ethereum on it already, which like way back when CryptoKitties were a thing, Ethereum was like $300-400. So it was probably worth like $20 then, and then it's like $50 later or whatever. But so yeah, I was following Pete a little bit on Top Shot. He was doing the Club Top Shot streams, and he was looking for people to help kind of with the production of it. So I was helping him do things like timestamps, and we were creating like memes and little videos for just him tweeting out. And so then became like a moderator in his Discord, and just a few people in the Discord. We got together. It was me, Dingy Wing, and then Babs. We sort of had been talking as group, like side messages about just NFTs in general. We were getting into it. There was a channel in there about NFTs, and we just sort of, people were asking like, when podcast. And so we just thought it would be fun to like throw something up. We were doing like Monday nights, and we just called it Club MGMI. So because we are under the Club Top Shot wing kind of thing. Yeah. And then just doing content through there as just sort of fun, like with friends. And then saw an opportunity with Lucky Trader that popped out on Twitter, and hit them up. And I was talking to Pete about it, and like, what do you think I would need, XYZ, and obviously like he's close with some of those guys as well. Yeah. So connected through them, and now I'm doing some content on NFTs with them, and it's just been like a crazy year. as far as just things go in general. But then it's like now I'm working for this company that like I was already looking at NFTs and stuff, and now I can like call it my job. So
Yeah.
it's really cool how it like progressed from just like hanging out in the Discord to getting like super deep in the weeds on some of these things to now I'm like writing articles and creating videos on like basic NFT stuff.
Yeah, we got Danny in the chat saying it was a content play.
Yeah.
Uh, well, you know what? One of the things I want to talk to you about a little bit, and you already mentioned like you were in the Crypto Kitty, so I like that a lot of us got here from Bale's article, and you're like, nah, I'm one of the OGs. Bale's tweets, but like I think a lot of people who are in Team Hold, and I'm sure a lot of people in general, like got into this through Top Shot, right? And then maybe have dabbled in a couple of other things. Um, but for the most part, have stayed within the Dapper umbrella. And I think, like, what was it like for you exploring outside of Top Shot into the space? And, like, kind of what was that experience like for you?
Yeah. So Top Shot sort of came easy to me where I had friends that had been trying to get me into physical cards. And to me, it just seemed like so much effort. Like I had to be like grinding this eBay account and trying to find like different cards that are out there. And then you have to go and
It's a pain in the ass.
a year later is when you come back and they tell you that it's like a 7 out of 10 instead of
Yeah.
a 9 out of 10. And then all of a sudden you spent all this money for no reason. So it just seemed like a hassle to me, but I kind of wanted to get into it in general. And then once I read the article, it kind of clicked to me. I was thinking like the future is digital in a lot of these things. And it just makes sense instead of, I don't know where my like baseball card collection from when I was growing up is, but I could have it all like essentially in a cloud. So like that
Mhm.
side of it made sense to me. So I basically jumped right in, threw a few $100 on the site. But my first two moments, I got a Jokic and Jason Tatum because I live in Denver now. I'm from like the Boston area originally. So like Tatum's one of my favorite players. And then obviously Jokic last year, he was going towards that like MVP stuff. So I
Yeah.
started with that and then I was like dabbling and um, then at one point, someone had mentioned it started with, do you remember NFT boxes by chance?
Yes, only through Pete. That's the only reason I had heard of it.
Yeah, so I don't really know how that came up, but I found that and that's where I was like, "Oh, it's connected to MetaMask." I already have a MetaMask and I found like my seed phrase and got back into it and that was the first like drop experience and like paying gas and stuff. And from that I learned that I already had an OpenSea account that had like the crypto kitties that I
Oh
got
my god.
ago. And then it was kind of cool because people were starting to just get into like other NFTs. And um, I was in this Discord from the NFT boxes, and this guy was explaining to me like how to go on OpenSea and like finding art. So I started like looking at art mostly when I
Wow.
was doing the NFT stuff. And then I'll obviously like it has changed over time to now it's all these like 10,000 mint projects. But yeah, I was just kind of dabbling around with a little bit of money on there and just seeing what went on. And then just it had this crazy growth. And part of it was from Top Shot, obviously, and
Mhm.
following sports. Like I knew who like the better players were and the idea of things like rookies and like
Right?
earlier cards. So it was cool because like you're in the Discord and people are talking about, you know, this is before flash challenges were even a thing, but it's like, oh, I, the joke we always make is like Bogdan
Yeah,
when it was,
Jesus.
oh, Bogdan, he's gonna be like Top
Face of
Shot
Europe,
Europe.
baby.
So we were all like buying up the Bogdans, and it was fun. It was like a little community of people who were all like minded, like everyone
Yeah.
was into sports, and so there's all the different channels you can like talk about stuff, but
That
yeah.
it has been cool seeing that, right? Like where and I think that has like helped a lot of people branch into outside of the sports world too, right? Like these channels where everyone was talking about, oh, well, this guy's underrated. Like this guy's underrated. We got to get in on this guy. And then there's like this group mind think. And I remember because for Team Hold, we specifically were just talking about Top Shot for the longest time. And then someone had brought up Crypto Dads. Like Crypto Dads was one of
Yeah.
the had brought up that project, and we brought him on to interview. And I mean, it was fun because it was successful. But part of the fun was that, like, as a group, we were going into this thing. So it kind of felt like win or lose, which of course we'd much rather win than lose.
Yeah.
But win or lose, we were like buckled up, right? We're like doing this together. And I think that was kind of that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that aspect of it. I feel like that made it a little bit more comfortable, for people to try new stuff out.
Yeah, and at least early on in Top Shot, you like couldn't get your money out when we were like initially in there. So part of
Right.
it's like, well, I can't get the money out here. Am I like actually earning any money? Am I actually doing any of this? So then you hop into the Ethereum side of things and you're like instantly seeing if your account balance is growing. You can
Mm-hmm.
quickly swap it into the USD or whatever. And it was just like a little different of an experience. And in my mind, like I didn't get into DFS early on when there was these huge edges.
Right.
And to me, it was the type of thing where I felt like, oh, I've understood how this kind of works from doing the crypto kitties back in the day. Like
Mm-hmm.
I understand that side of it. So to me, I felt like I had a little bit of an edge as far as like knowing something. And I usually don't really have an edge. And I've read different books, and obviously like Bales has that book for like how to gamble for smart people, or however it's worded,
Yeah.
DFS for smart people. But so to me, it's like you're always trying to find an edge in some way. And I was kind of focused on, now looking back, I wish I like put more money into
Right.
it at the
Right.
beginning, like we all do. But I was kind of seeing, because I mean, we go into Discords even now, and people don't understand things like gas fees. They don't
Mm-hmm.
understand like how to set up these things. So that's what's cool with like Lucky Trader, is we're able to like be helping people learn, because right now a lot of the edges that were there early on are kind of gone because way more people are educated. So I tried to just go forward while the edge was there, and try
Yeah.
to learn quickly, basically.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that you do think like most of the edge has been? I wouldn't say that there's no edges left, but like, do you feel like a lot of it, the gap has been narrowed a little bit?
Yeah, I think now it's more, less people are making mistakes.
Mm,
I guess that is how I'd word it. It's kind of like Top Shot, where the general public's getting smarter. There's more tools out there.
mhm.
Like with NFTs right now, the big thing is like rarity, and people are finding which ones are rare faster than they were before. People know how to go into a contract and find stuff. But I think a lot of the edges might be gone, but there's still, I mean, things like Coinbase, there's another like 50 million people
Right.
that could be coming into the space that have no idea. So there's always going to be little edges by being earlier on than people, but um, I don't know. I still think they're there, but to me, there was just so many edges early on
Yeah.
that I wanted to jump on board while they were still available, because you never know, like things change so fast. And the earlier you're in and knowing what you're doing and learning is probably best. We're still early in
Right.
the
Right.
if
But
you zoom out 10 years.
yeah, I know what you mean though. Like we're, not even like a few months ago, right? You could be blindly, not maybe more than a few months ago, but like blindly throwing darts, right? Like just by minting, you were almost winning as long as the thing wasn't rugged. And now it does feel like everyone has gotten a little bit sharper. Everyone's listening to at least a podcast or using
Right.
using Lucky Trader or something like that. So yeah, but yeah, we were talking about this offline before we went on, and it's funny. It felt like everyone was getting a little bit sharper. Everyone has like gone through some of these similar experiences. And then this UFC drop happens, and I'm messing around in the Discord, and like so many people are doing this for the first time. And
Yeah.
we were joking that there's someone who made the complaint of like, hey guys, you guys messed up. I love UFC, love the product. You guys messed up because I got two of the same moments, but they just have a different serial number. So just go ahead and send me a new bag. And it's like, oh man, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. So I do think there's still, there's going to be a whole new horde of people who are now going through the same
Yeah.
thing that a lot of us went through like 6, 8, 12 months ago.
And I still think things like Top Shot, UFC Strike, and NFL All Day, those are still onboarding a lot of people
Hmm.
who still don't don't want to get into the, oh, where am I going to buy Ethereum? Like, where am I going to create this wallet? And it's just a lot easier of an interface, and you
Right.
can just connect it to PayPal or your credit card
Exactly.
and get money on there. And the numbers are in USD, and a lot of it is generally easier to understand, and like
Yeah.
the interface is easier to understand. There's less, like, the big thing right now is there's a lot of the scams and hacks going on. So it's a little more comfortable because you're going onto this website that has the backing of these big corporations and
Yeah.
brands. It's like, what's Dapper's like 8 billion or something
Yeah,
right
it's
now,
something
right?
ridiculous like
Yeah.
that. I mean, they're doing well because they had an issue with the UFC drop, and they were like, you know what, this one's on us. Everybody, get your money back.
Yeah. And
Which,
there's still plenty of edges on these, like, obviously with things like the flash challenges,
mhm,
like you can sort of front run the ideas of, oh, this guy is, the big thing right now is bottlenecks, right?
right,
Where this guy's a bottleneck. Like, the other day I saw Alec Burks, his price went way up because, like,
yeah,
bench players were part of the flash challenge. And so people were buying him expecting him to be part of the challenge. Then he's not part of the challenge, it all falls.
yeah.
So it's more gamified now, which is kind of cool
It's
in that sense.
I
But
like I like that it's giving you both experiences, right? Because if you approach it the way you did, right, where when you first got in, you're like, Jokic is really good and people aren't paying for him. Tatum's really good and people aren't paying for him. You like snipe those two moments. Those are just like long term, like those are
yeah,
good, like blue chip guys. And then you have guys like you were saying, we're like, oh well, tonight's flash challenges is free throws. Kemba's out tonight, so Alex Burks is going to get more run or whatever. And then you see that it's kind of like you're seeing both like long term marketplace and short term marketplace.
yeah,
Like we saw, it was Justice Winslow this week, who a $9 moment was going for $100 just so people could get
crazy.
a free moment. It's crazy. But that's what makes it fun. And look at Sawyer out here. A couple of comments, and just as the early adopters captured our entry point deposits, we will do the same to the noobs. There we go. But then followed it up with, do I spray tan? And I think it's just the lighting, Sawyer. I think it's just like the lighting. But yeah, and one of the other things we started talking about too, which I think is an interesting conversation, just like in general, because we were saying like, oh, I'd rather onboard people with those kinds of questions versus like, what projects do you think are gonna triple
Right.
my investment? And it reminded me a little bit. I used to work in higher education, and college students sometimes ask questions, and my job is to tell them what the right answer was, but it was to provide different paths. And then it's up to them to ultimately make decisions, right? And it kind of, in a real corny way, feels similar, right? Where I'm not telling you what things to buy. I'm just telling
Yeah.
you like what kind of experiences are out there, and it's up to you to make those calls. But what's that been like for you? Like, are you finding yourself with added pressure now when people are talking about it? You're like, well, I'm wearing the Lucky Trader badge, baby. I need to give the goods.
Yeah, but currently it's that idea of like teaching people how to fish versus fishing,
Yeah.
um, or telling them which fish are going to be priced higher. Um, so that's what I like about it, though, is it's a lot of this not financial advice thing, but it's more me explaining to people like how to set up a MetaMask, how to mint from contract, because, oh, you went on to this drop you liked, but the website's down. So giving you like other options to
Hmm.
be able to still participate, or just how to use the Lucky Trader tools to see which things are maybe rare or desirable versus others. And it's it's a lot of, we're doing project updates. So as things are coming out after the fact, like, what are these projects still doing that are providing value? And it's more like just giving the information, but not telling you like this one's better than the other one.
Right.
Because in reality, like, I don't know which one's
Yeah.
better than another one. Like, I'm guessing just as much as you guys are. So it's really just trying to give people the tools, and then
Hmm.
they're thinking on their own for like the next time one of these opportunities come up. Why did this one go up in price? Oh, it's because they're coming out with XYZ, or their update, they showed previews to their game or something like that.
Yeah, I do think like as we move further away from where we are right now, there will be fun like research stuff. I'm sure it's already happening now. Just like examining rollouts and like finding what was successful and what wasn't successful, and like trying, because sometimes, especially soon after I couldn't tell you why, right? Like there's all the hype around something. They've got everything sounds nice. The mint happens. One person decides like, nah, I'm out on this. And then all of a sudden it goes down. And so I really am excited. The nerd in me is excited to like read up on like, oh, well, this project did well. And here's why we think it might have done well. Because I think moving forward, that's how we like gain information to like what looks like a red flag versus what doesn't look like a red flag. And I
Yeah.
think like, is that something that you feel like you've picked up on as you've both like participated in projects and just kind of like examined stuff, like where you can find red flags?
Yeah, we try to do some evergreen content like that. There was one that Jason Bales had done on, does like medium tier stuff matter in
Hmm.
rarities? And he was doing it specific on like bored apes. So a lot of times people will just look at what's the floor, or
Hmm.
like what's the rarest, like the top of the top, and then
Right.
everything in between gets a little bit forgotten in a way. So we do some stuff like that, and it's definitely interesting to look back, and it's like, well, why were people buying into this project for versus that project,
Hmm.
where a lot of the times it's um like from an outsider's point of view, like you look at them and they look very similar as far as like what they're doing and the communities involved. But I think right now, one thing that's big is there's a lot of push on like Instagram or TikTok. And
Mm.
we're very used to right now, like Twitter being the place for NFT stuff. And it seems like it's moving a little more towards these other social media platforms. And like, that's sort of the boomer in me, where it's like, I'm not going on to Instagram or
Right.
TikTok to check for NFT stuff, but there's a lot of like people that's where the new people entering the space are coming in, and
Right.
they're seeing them as ads or reels or whatever, where people are talking about, this thing is dropping today, it's going to be huge. And a lot of the ways that they sort of push those things are a little different as well.
Yeah.
They're a little more like the influencer base. But
Right. Right.
um so like the game is always changing, and we call it like different metas. So right
Hmm.
now there's like an anime meta that's happening, where a lot
Hmm.
of these projects that people are trying to buy into have like an anime style art to them. And part of that, people are saying, is because like the Asian markets are growing now.
Yeah.
And the thing with like China, we always say like when China for Top Shot, right? But the thing is, like, every week it seems like they have different regulations on what they want to deal with cryptocurrency. So it's kind of sporadic, but I mean, think about how many people live in China, right? Like,
Right.
and a lot of wealthy people out there. So it's kind of cool when you see this project that you've like never heard of pops up, and it's like
Well,
goes like very
I,
fast to like 5 Ethereum floor or whatever, and you like don't know why, because
right.
it's like a whole different market of people that they're going towards.
I
So
mean,
there's
this is a peanuts version from like the ones that really mooned recently, but Pete was, I remember like one morning he was like, "Hey, there's a free mint over here. It's like Momters or whatever."
oh yeah,
And it was just like every single morning when China woke up, the price just went up. And then the United States or this side of the hemisphere, when they woke up, the price came back down. But it was wild. I'd never seen anything like it, where it was like every night, as I was starting to go to bed, I would see it like moon again. And it was wild. You're right. And I think that I think we're going to see more and more of that as those regulations get loosened or
yeah.
becomes more adopted over there. I don't know.
It's a lot of momentum trading, which I don't know if I love or hate it, but
Yeah.
um a lot of people try to throw like the normal traditional like technical analysis and charts at stuff, and it's just very different. And
Hmm.
a lot of people will tell you that it's pretty inefficient, because a lot of times it will move just because, some random person tweets about this one project, or they switch their profile picture to it, and they're like, oh, I'm really feeling this, and then for the next like half hour, there's just every minute people are buying this
Right.
project. And it's kind of like back when, Josh Hart tweets about Top Shot, and then his moment goes to like $500 all of a
That's
sudden. It's like,
I always joke about that. I can't wait till we get to the place in the NFT space where we don't have to lose our mind when like a C-list celebrity changes their
yeah,
changes their profile photo. Like that. Like, no offense to Josh Hart, that shouldn't move the needle. Like Josh Hart shouldn't move the NBA needle because he joined Top Shot. Um but that's where we are right now. That's
Yeah.
where we are. Now it's Duncan Robinson with ballers. Which whatever. Have you messed around? Yeah, sorry, that made it come across like I was like F ballers. I'm not saying F ballers. I love all projects. Everybody's great. Have you been messing around outside the Ethereum world as well when it comes to
Yeah,
minting?
I play around in some of the other ones. The problem is there's not as much demand on the other ones. So it's like hard. There's not as much information. I got into Solana for a little bit, but there's a lot more scams going on in Solana, and it just seemed a little sketchier in some ways. There's a lot of like big VC investor money that comes into these projects, and then they just like dump on people. So I had been I got in there at one point. I kind of came back off of it, but I did get it. I got a baller
Yeah.
when that came out. I actually this would you say this is a good swap? But I sold the baller and then I bought an S1 LeBron with it.
Ooh.
So I was just thinking like, I have a decent amount in Top Shot still, but I didn't have like people call them like the Grail moments where it's like
Right.
I didn't have like any like good LeBrons, so I got the Western Conference Final one that
Oh, nice.
that's the one that like they burned. So I had wanted one and it seemed undervalued because some of his others that had a higher supply were priced higher. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So I sold the ballers. I wasn't sure if I was going to get super into it, the baller side, and it seemed more in depth, and you kind of need a few of them, and
Yeah.
so
That's where I was. I was able to. Oh, also, Stan says, how many NBA players have you had on so far? Stan, this burn would have been so good if you spelled on right. So unfortunately, we both take an L here today. I ended up minting 5 of them, and I was like, I had the dapper. I was like, whatever, let's do it. And I did the same thing where once I started realizing what the value was, I started flipping them into other Top Shot moments. Like I was able to get the Luka Top Shot debut, which I hadn't had. And I wouldn't say I ended up being wrong. I think I thought I was like pulling one on people because I was doing off market deals before the market opened.
oh
And so I was like, there's no way it's going to be worth this much. This is crazy. And then when the market opened, like it's done pretty well. And I think the floor stayed at like 1600 or something like that. It's
that's
also
pretty good.
just tough. Like I think my brain is so trained to see it in ETH or whatever, and then to see like the USD number, I'm just like, oh my God, it's a little jarring.
Looks so much higher.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't spend $1,600 on this, but I will spend 0.6 right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And I got into the owners club stuff. Like they
Mhm.
had a little rocky of a start, but
Yeah.
then that actually became pretty fun to like try to build out the lineups each week. And every once in a while I'd have a decent sweat in there. And I never got I don't even think I got a top 10 finish. In the side hustle, I think I got a top 10, but not in the main event.
Yeah.
I saw you had one of those weeks that you got up there
Man,
pretty high too.
the online final, I was in 7th, and I had a real shot at first for a long time. But yeah, I will say, I mean, obviously, like full disclosure, you can see underneath our photos, it says presented by On the Moment. But they I thought they crushed that second half because you're right. Like they had a little bit of a rocky start. They couldn't figure out the marketplace thing, and then they were like, "Fuck it, we'll just build our own marketplace." Which when they said that, I was like, my alarm bells are going off. I'm like, that makes me nervous. It ended up being like super smooth. The best ball stuff they rolled out was really cool, and I think for similar to Top Shot, for a lot of people who are like messing around with NFTs for the first time, for them to have like a fully flushed out game that is something that the people already participating in already have wrapped their head around how fantasy football works. So it was just like a pretty cool introductory thing. Again, I think like 2 years from now, it'll be very interesting to talk to people who got in through Top Shot or in through like OTM and TOC and kind of see where their journey went after that. Because I do think it's like opened the doors to quite a few things,
And it was almost better in a way how it started. And I don't want to like say better because obviously for some people it was pretty bad, but like the prices for things were all pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
And even when things got hyped, like the Thursday night, like someone gets a big score on Thursday night.
Yeah.
The prices only got up to like $200 or whatever. It's not like they were getting up to thousands of
Right.
dollars, and you could almost always kind of go for items if you wanted them,
Hmm.
uh, depending on like what you had in the week. I only did that a few times. I had a decent amount of cards from the original drop, but
Yeah.
I was like completing some sets. So um, the Thursday nights almost never worked in my favor, and then I didn't have the bucks. I didn't have any sort of buck stack, which
Yeah.
hurt. And then I only had the wide receiver of the quarterback of Cardinals the first 2 weeks, and I didn't want to buy the wide receiver. And then obviously, like if I bought wide receiver for Cardinals, I would have probably like made enough on those first two
Oh,
weeks just because how much they like smashed that
yeah.
it would have made up for the rest of the weeks. So I mean, it's like a learning game like anything else, but
Yeah.
it was definitely fun to play
It
that one.
it was fun. I agree with you too that like I almost think the Rocky start just like tempered people's expectations. So people were less
Yeah.
focused on like, oh, can I flip my Joker for 2 ETH right now? And we're instead everybody was just trying to play the game. And I think you're right. I think that I mean I don't think they'll ever say that and we probably are
Yeah.
mad that we're saying that, but I do think it was
I mean,
beneficial.
I opened 4 Carolina running backs in my packs. And remember before the marketplace happened, you could like kind of do stuff off deal,
Yeah.
and they were selling for like point 0.2 Ethereum or whatever. And it almost didn't matter what week he got hurt. Like I think once it started, like the prices of everything were just way lower than
Way
that. And
lower.
so that was one thing that I kind of missed out on is I could have sold some of those. I just assumed the way people were talking beforehand that they would go for a ton. And then obviously he gets hurt, and then I couldn't even use the Carolina running back
I know.
anymore. But
I know. I
oh
remember he
well.
came back. He came back for like 1 week, and I was like, "Oh, what a steal! I'm gonna get him at like $33. Like this is,"
Yeah.
and then he got hurt immediately again, which is fun. Um, Lou, one of the other things I want because I know we started talking about it, but one of the things I wanted to ask you is like, how has like all of the work that you've been doing for Lucky Trader and just your experience, how has that like helped you identify like red flags when you're seeing like a project launch or something like that? Like, have you started to feel like you got a grasp on things like this? Like, can you like, oh, this smells a little fishy?
Yeah, it kind of puts more, you have to like look into stuff more because
Hmm.
it's almost like feel a little more responsibility around it, where I have to like um we're putting out the project updates, we're explaining the things about the project, and you kind of have to look at it as, ooh, does this seem sketchy? And it makes me like dig in a little more than I maybe would have in the past. So the whole like do your own research idea, like I feel like I'm finding myself actually putting in more time and researching stuff before I go
Mm.
ahead with it. So it's kind of cool. It's also helped me because I mean, part of my job is like scrolling on Twitter most of the day and looking for these news items and looking up the new projects and
Hmm.
trying to like dig into like, is this good or is this bad? So it's kind of helped with my process, and I don't have to do it on the side while I'm working like my regular 9 to 5.
Right,
Like
right.
part of it is digging into this stuff and trying to explain it to people. So I think it's helped with my process for sure. And I'm finding these random projects that I probably never would have heard of before, or
Yeah,
like they come out and people ask about them and I actually know what they're talking about. So I think it's definitely been helpful, and it allows me to actually sort of have like I said, the responsibility
yeah,
of, I'm not telling people what to buy, but it's also, well, should we be putting this on our site? Is
right.
this, you know, there's this thing where some of these projects come out with like clear racism or
Hmm.
sexism and stuff like that. And it's more like, well, we don't really want to push this project and back it in any way.
Yeah,
So it's definitely cool to go on and like actually read on some of these websites. But man, there's so many of these projects that you look at and you're like, this is never gonna go anywhere. I
right.
mean, is anyone gonna buy this? There's a lot that are like just copy paste of others that are
Yeah,
trying to run off the success of a different one. So I think I've learned how to sort of see through that a little more just from like anything else, practice and watching it unfold.
One of the ones we were looking at in our Discord, there's a handful of people who were looking at invisible friends for a while.
Oh, yeah.
So they had gotten like slim hoods and mood rollers is like a couple months ago. And because of that, I started paying attention. And then all of a sudden, like all of these different invisible projects appeared. And it was like same thing. I was like, okay, awesome. So we're gonna have like 7 different ones of these. But I'm with you. Since we started doing these interviews on Tuesday, typically, I'm feeling that same responsibility of like, I don't want to bring somebody on here that is, just either is clear not going to make it, or is like maliciously trying to rug something, right?
Yeah.
So that's been it is way more work. So like can appreciate what you're doing because I'm doing it once a week for one thing, and this is like your 9 to 5 what you're grinding. I know that's like taking in a ton of information. But I do think you're right. Like, I think if you are spending the time, like looking into it a little bit, you can kind of almost see it. Like, yeah, this
Yeah.
might. I mean, I've definitely been wrong about it, but usually wrong in the right way. If that makes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not pumping something that eventually gets rugged. It's more of like, I don't know, something smells a little off with it.
Yeah.
And one other way around it is we've been asking people to show their face when they come on here, and so like, do you remember the Richies? Do you remember hearing about the
But
Richies?
I'm not sure. Was
So
that recent?
this is probably like 2 months ago, but they had reached out to us and they're like, "We'd love to come on. We'd love to." And I was like, "Oh, great, yeah. You just show your face. That's all you got to do." And they're like, "No, we're not going to show our face, but we'll do." And then it ended up being like crazy rugged,
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, that's something that's been more common. We were on a show last night that it got brought up that a lot of these more recent projects are the thing they say fully docs team,
Mhm.
like here they are, and you might just have like their Twitter name, like it's not necessarily their like look this person up or anything,
Right,
but they
right.
usually say like, oh, this is the person, this is their experience, and it brings a lot more comfort to people where it's like
It
it gives them the responsibility, and the face attached to it, like you said, is it
it
definitely
does.
helps.
And it's not like you're gonna go track them down, but there is this like weird comfort in being like, okay, if I get fucked, it's that guy. Like I know
Right.
what he looks like. Um,
Yeah. And then
and I
they
think
blast you on Twitter about it once you
exactly.
find out. So
Exactly. Shout out, Beanie Man.
yeah. Oh
No, where
man, that
that
was
was not a
crazy.
genuine shout out for anyone like casually listening right now. But yeah, so someone was saying, we'll always owe Mike for putting me on Smiles. Yeah, but also
Yeah.
remember we've also brought on Yando Mondo, so you win some, you lose some, you know.
So Smiles, you had them on stream before their drop?
Yeah, we had them on before our drop, and one of my favorite things about them is on their website. They were like, "There's no utility." Like they basically were like, "This is fucking cool. That's why you should get this." And I was like, "Thank you for your honesty here. You're just like this art's sick. I think you're gonna like it." And I like love that. I love that.
Wasn't there one isn't he like 20 years old or something?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guy who started it, and it was on like CNBC or CNN or something. They
So
did
he
like a
was on
piece
it
on
like
it.
right before the drop, I think, and it had an initial pump that went crazy, and then it came right back down.
Yeah.
And now they're like booming right now.
That started right before I was with Lucky Trader, like the
Mhm.
week before, because they did one of those whitelist raffles for like 30 spots. It was like the week before I hopped on. Um, but yeah, I haven't gotten too into that one. And I think part of it for me is like if you miss a drop, it's hard for me to then hop in after.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times, like if you don't get in that initial price, then it's hard to like hop in at half an Ethereum versus the 0.08 or whatever they mint
exactly.
at. So yeah, I mean it does seem like people are on board with them and pretty cool. You still hold Smiles?
Oh no, I was a fool. I went in super hard on it too. I think I had like 6 or 7 of
Oh
them,
wow.
and then I was just realizing I was like, I'm wildly overexposed. I'm
Yeah.
a struggling comedian in New York City that probably shouldn't have that much tied up in one project. But then it was so funny because I still had the conviction of like, yeah, this is gonna do well. But it was like Christmas, and I was
Yeah.
like, you gotta make choices. So I don't I haven't gotten like to the point where I need to mute anything. I will still appreciate the Smiles news as it comes. And there's so many people in Team Hold that are still in there, so I will take my W through them,
Yeah. Yeah,
We all win.
definitely. A
We
lot of
all
the
win.
smaller projects are cool like that. Like I know there's a lot. Probably a lot of your people are part of like the Knights of Degen,
Hmm.
and like they're built big on like the community aspect of it, and just some projects only care about what's going on with the price, but seems like someone like Knights of Degen, they're talking about the connections they're making. Like
Right.
AJ Dillon is getting his knight on his shoe and
The
like stuff
Dylan
like
deals,
that.
baby.
So it's cool to like watch a lot of these projects grow. Like some of them grow and then fall off. You don't hear about them, but
Hmm.
the ones like Smiles and Knights of Degen that more recently have gone up in price and people get like very excited around them. Like I like seeing that because there's a lot of projects that just forget about them later, but the ones that build, as we say, like building in winter, like when everything's pretty quiet,
Yeah.
um, those are the projects I like seeing, and I'd love to be a part of like those types of projects more so than the ones that are, Instagram's pushing them and
Right.
they just fly up real quick and then fall off the face of the earth.
Right. Well, and I think because they don't instantly shoot up, there's like real community investment and buy-in there, right? So when it
Yeah.
does finally take off, there's kind of like F y'all. I told you. I told you. Like I'm keeping all of these. This is gonna keep going up. Like there's a real community. Like you were seeing that with Knights, the Knights of DGen people. I was so happy for them just because I know they like it went down for a little bit, but everybody was still like working super hard. And then to see that pay off in like a meaningful, fun way. And the people in our community that are in it, I know are still like jacked to be in it. No one was like, all right, finally I can get out now because we're back
Yeah.
above where I started. It was kind of like, let's go, let's ride this out.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, Lou, I don't want to take up any more of your time, man. I appreciate you coming on today. We're gonna have our friend Mihal come on in a little bit to rip a pack, and then we'll see what happens with all day. But what
Nice.
can we plug for you, man? Where can the people find you?
Yeah, on Twitter I'm at LouDog Sherman, and then the Lucky Trader News is the Twitter that a few days a week I help them like come up with that stuff. But yeah, luckytrader.com. I throw some articles on there, and then our streaming schedule is Monday mornings around like 11 a.m. Eastern. We
Nice.
do a week in advance road ahead, I guess we'd say, a
Yeah.
week ahead in NFTs, which is almost impossible to do because we talk about stuff and then by Tuesday there's a whole different schedule. But just talk about like things going on. And then Thursday we call it Lucky Trader Lounge, where we usually like get a guest and talk just general NFTs or
Yeah.
interview someone. And then Fridays I had one earlier today, like intro to different projects, a lot
Oh,
of
that's very
like
cool.
gaming projects and stuff like that. So today we did the Parallel Alpha, that big like card game that I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
still I still don't know a ton on it, but I brought a couple guys on who do know. So yeah, just trying to like teach people, and we're doing a bunch of streaming on there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, definitely check that out. And if you guys are not watching this live and watching it after, you'll be able to find everything in the show notes. And here we go. Before we get you to leave, because a lot of people have asked
Yeah.
us about this, and I don't think not a lot of people have takes yet. Have you messed around with Vivi at all? Or Vive? Or
Oh
Vive?
yeah. I mean, I have a little bit. That it seems like they have a drop every day, right?
Yeah, they did last week for something, but usually it's like Tuesday, Thursday, and then every once in a while they have them on the weekends. Um, they do have a lot of drops going on. They do.
Yeah. I haven't gotten super into it, but the one thing I've been sort of talking up recently is the fact that a lot of those drops are through your phone,
Hmm.
and like the mobile aspect, it's like easy to you can pay with credit card or just PayPal or whatever. I'm pretty bullish and stuff like that because I think that's how we onboard a lot of people who are maybe scared to figure out anything to do with crypto.
Yeah.
So I like the projects like that are generally easy to use and mobile friendly.
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten super into it personally. I have an account and I've sat for a couple of the drops, but I generally miss a lot of the drops because they pop up. Someone's like, "Oh, in 3 minutes there's a drop." We have this like little alert in our Discord where
Yeah.
you can like tag a group of people, and I always like get the alert 10 minutes after. So I generally like miss a lot of them, but
Yeah.
I think it's cool what they're doing over there.
Yeah, it'll be I'm fascinated because I know they have like the Marvel, the Marvel
Right.
IP, right? So that's That I
Huge
imagine
brand.
that as well. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And for it seems to be growing without having a marketplace yet. And I'm always bullish on stuff like that. Like if people are still willing to drop dollars without or gems or ETH, whatever, without being able to move it around, like that's
Right.
usually a good
That's
sign.
the issue right now. But that's also, I mean, that happened with Top Shot, and
Yeah.
a couple months later, you're able to withdraw and move money around too. So sometimes it's just getting in on them now, and then sort of
Yeah.
like the edges we were talking about earlier is knowing the platform before other people once it's withdrawal friendly.
Right, right. And taking the experiences you've had on Top Shot, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the same product, but keeping those experiences in mind and learning from those, the
Yeah.
tuition, as they say, right? The tuition.
Yeah.
But well, man, dude, thank you so much for making time in the middle of the day. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it. Was
Thanks for
looking
having
forward to
me.
this for a while. So everybody go follow Dog Sherman. Go check him out on Lucky Trader, and we'll see you soon, man.
All right. Thanks for
Uh,
having me.
all right,
See you
take it easy, Lou.
guys.
Love Lou. That was a lot of fun. That was great. We're gonna keep it moving. So before we bring on Mihal, who's gonna open a pack, just for those of you waiting in the queue, there was just an NFL all day announcement. It looks like they're dropping it back a half hour. Okay, so it's gonna be 4:30 Eastern. And I'm gonna see right now if we can get into the queue just to see if that's open. And I'm getting a slow spinning wheel, so it does not appear we're going to be able to get in there yet. So it's going to be happening soon. But shout out Lou again. I was so happy for him to come on. I always really like him. The Club NGMI pod or stream was always really good. So it's good to talk to him. Go follow him and go check out Lucky Trader. And speaking of checking out, let's check out Mihal. Mihal, how are we doing, my friend?
Hello, all good here?
So we got a Raptors hat. We donning a Raptors hat right there.
Yeah, as always.
Hell
Raptors
yeah.
hat and Daniel Ricciardo on the chest.
Ah, dude, you knew the way to my heart. Bring in some Ricardo. What's going on, man? How
Yeah.
you been?
All good. Yeah. I don't know. Everything's fine apart from the raging pandemic.
Raging
Like,
pandemic. That'll get you.
uh,
Is it a little crazy over where you are right now?
it is a bit crazy. I got a
Yeah.
couple of months in the office in like end of year, and
Yeah.
January they said, nope, go home.
Go home. It's weird living in New York City because everything, I shouldn't say everything, but COVID related, it seems to start here. So it's crazy here and then it goes everywhere else. So now it's no longer crazy here. Oh, also, listen, I'm going to share my screen here because it looks like we're able to get in here almost. All right, I'm still seeing a spinning wheel. So we're getting close. We are getting close. But we'll check back into that for a little bit. Mihal, I got to give you some credit, man. So you bought 2 candy packs way back when. And you bought them through me because you didn't have access to them, so I'm holding on to 2. And you still have not sold them nor ripped them and are just continuing to accrue value. Have you been tempted to ship it?
No, not really. I'm just like I forgot most of the time I have them.
There you go.
But every now and then you just mention it on the show, and I'm like, right, I have like I don't know, $2,000 in packs or something.
I would think
like
so.
that.
Yeah, 2,000 in packs, I would guess.
It's a lot of money.
Not bad. Not bad for a $100 investment, right?
But I guess it's gonna crash when the last of those like top 3 legendaries will be ripped.
Yeah, I would think so. Although you still see, yeah, it will definitely come down a little bit, but you still see like Mike Trout going for like 2,000 and Otani going for like 2,000. So I don't know. I think it'll still have some. It'll still definitely be above the $50 price point.
Yeah.
Look
Exactly.
at look at
So
getting
it's
so
really
much
bad.
so much love here. Everybody's excited to see you. We love it. All right, what packs are we
appreciate the love.
ripping? Oh, sorry, what did you say?
No, I just said that I appreciate the love.
Yeah.
Always getting good vibes from Discord and our crew, so it's nice.
Now,
Yeah,
Mihal,
I kept the holo icon for the content.
I got to be honest, man. I forgot what pack you were ripping today until I just shared screen. I forgot it was the holo, so I'm very excited. Is this your first holo pack?
It's my second one. I managed to get the lucky discounted one, the $200 holo one.
Nice.
That was like 10x on the output.
10x is pretty good.
Yeah. Here, like the upside of or downside of opening pack late is like you pretty sure like I don't know if it's upside or downside, but you like kind of lose any hope because all the best stuff is ripped already.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not like getting crazy stuff. There's like 7 Lucas left.
Did most of the jersey serials get ripped in the number ones?
So according to my tool, all the jerseys on the numbers ones are gone. There's one last like perfect serial for Devonte Graham.
Okay.
So all the cool stuff is gone. But anyways, the pack is W anyway, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
losing money here. So like,
no, especially because there's an MGLE in there too. So there's a lot of. I think I flipped my legendary for 1,800, I think, and then I flipped my MGLE for 250. So, and then kept the base moment. So basically 2x'd.
yeah.
So and 2x is fine when we're talking $1,000. I don't mind.
Yeah. Also, funny thing because like remember the day when the pack came out, you will or like ripping Bobby Portis and MGLE.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is the one that's been ripped the most. There's like only 4 Bobby Portis left in that pack.
Oof.
Every other else got
So you're saying it's going to be tough to get into the Bobby lobby? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It's a tough room to get in.
All right. Well, let's rip this bad boy.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. And NBA Top Shot Talk asked, and bought all the Murrays? You damn right. We're up to 30 DeJounte Murrays. I'm excited. I really did. I forgot we were ripping a hollow. This is great.
Yeah, that's a good pack to open.
And I don't know. Did you see any of last night's stream, Mihal? We had 2 LeBrons get ripped from the Series 1 pack.
I watched the beginning of it. I even like popped in the chat because like,
that's right. You were up too late. You're up too late.
So I watched that and like, well, that's a good start. Then it kind of went downhill, but the start was really good.
It sure did go downhill. It sure did. Shout out K-Dub and Jeb Bush.
Ciao, Jeb Bush. All right. So right, we don't touch the blue stuff right now and don't touch the rainbow stuff.
Yeah, don't touch. There you go. So we found the rainbow. We found the blue.
Let's go methodically, left to right.
There we go. Ooh, Jonas.
Yep, 60K. I'm not gonna play those moments.
No, we don't need to see those.
We know
ones.
it's that.
Landry Shant. That's good. Get this out of the way.
Caruso.
Here we go.
He's doing really well in Bulls. Much better.
Yeah, he's been playing. That injury was tough, but he's been playing really great. LOL.
It's tickets. Nothing to complain.
Yeah, a lot of tickets here. That's all right. It was most likely going to be tickets anyways, unless we saw a 4K moment. Ooh, who's this? Keldon Johnson? There we go. That's nice.
All right, let's go to the.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo. Let's go. LaMelo, baby.
That's a score.
$1,000 right there. Bingo. Let's go.
So that's already a profit. Wow.
That's it.
I didn't expect that. I forget that's a moment in there, but that's great.
Hit. Let's go. Look at. Hold on. I feel like we need to play this drop based on your reaction. So I feel like people are freaking out enough. Why am I the only one losing my mind? What is happening? Yeah. Unreal. A LaMelo ball.
Yeah, this is my first LaMelo. I didn't have any LaMelo.
First LaMelo ever?
Yeah. I didn't bought any of the market, so.
Hey, also Akeem Brown just dropped his Top Shot name. I don't know if he's trying to get that LaMelo from you, but there's his Top Shot name if you want to just gift it.
Probably not.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's do this.
Here we go.
So Luka would be nice, right?
But Luka would be nice. Luka, Detroit Pit. I don't remember. Oh, Sadiq Bey? Sadiq Bey. This is a pretty sick moment.
And also Sadiq Bey is our new guy of the team hold.
That's true. So. That's true. You went big. You went big with the team hold by.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations, man. That is definitely a win.
Serial. And very good pack. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, let me see. I want to see what the Bay's going for right now. I know the LaMelo's was right around 1,000, but I'm curious what Sadiq's.
Yeah, I have no idea either. That's
is Sadiq in the 1625 right now? And let me see if he is. I can't remember if he's in this challenge or not.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember either.
Let's see. In this challenge, Gordon, Kuzma, Smart, RJ, SGA. Nope, he's not. So there's a chance Sadiq Bey is in the Ja Morant one. So it all depends on what the Luka's in.
Yeah.
But that's huge.
Yeah, that's great.
That
I didn't like super care about any of those moments. Like, I collect raptors and some like players I like, so there was no raptors in that pack. So I don't know. I'll probably try to flip that or do something else. But hollow, like, the hollows are always good moments to hold also. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Is there anything you've been eyeing lately that you're like excited to kind of make some moves to go get?
I mean, I have the whole list of things, but I'm like really close to pulling trigger on that Vince Carter moment. Like, he's like
Ooh.
low, and and I think yeah, I don't know, a few other things, but Vince is definitely like very high on the wish list.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow,
Right.
I like it, man. Congratulations. That's a
Thank
huge
you.
little W right there.
Yep. So that's
Are
awesome.
are you getting involved in this NFL drop or messing around with that at all?
Yep. I'm in the QE.
There we go.
I managed to get in, but I saw some people are getting kicked out also. So just refreshing every now and then to see I'm still in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm NFL. I'm just buying packs. I don't do like, I opened one on stream here,
Mhm.
and I was like mostly disappointing stuff in there. So I decided not to open any new packs, but I'm just buying them. I don't know,
Yeah.
do something in the future.
Yeah, I get that too. That's kind of where I'm at, especially with like UFC too. I'm just gonna keep buying packs. I don't know what else I'm gonna do with it, but
Yeah, hopefully the newer packs are not like auto opening, so we get to stack them. But
yeah.
yeah, also think it's gonna be, because UFC doesn't have so many moments, it's gonna be pretty easy to like collect the set.
Yeah, I think so too.
So maybe I'll do that.
Just to
don't know.
do it, especially if it's going to continue to grow after that. I kind of
Yeah.
like the idea of being able to do that.
Yeah, it kind of feels good to have like Series 0 full set. That
Yeah,
sounds
I
like a
like
good
that.
idea to do.
Series 0 sounds nice, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get a good ring to it. All right, Michal, I'm going to get you out of here. Thank you so much, man,
Yep.
for saving the pack to rip. Congratulations on the LaMelo. That's huge. That's
Thank you.
huge.
See
And
you around.
we'll see you again soon, right?
Yep.
All right, take it easy, man. See you, Michal. Love Michal. It's just congrats on the dub, you know. Stan Loves, you still in the chat? You still in the chat, Stan? So Stan Loves is offered to give away a little plunge-in NFT. All right. I want to make sure I have the info correct. But yeah, we're gonna give away a plunge-in NFT. The winner just needs to pay gas though to claim and have access to the plunge-in Discord, where they can get some Coinbase NFT alpha raffles, etc., stuff like that. So our man Stan right here was willing to give one of these away. And this is why we love Stan. You know what I mean? Stan and I have similar energy where he comes at me, but then he also gives to the community. So appreciate our man Tyler Durden Heat in the streets here. So Stan again is giving away a plunge-in NFT. The winner would just need to pay the gas to claim, and then by claiming, you get access to the plunge-in Discord where they can get some Coinbase NFT alpha. There's some raffles, giveaways, and stuff like that. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now to fill out the form. So do that, and it's going to be the last thing we do today. But you got to be here to win it, all right? You have to be here to win it. I'm not going to accept anything else. So fill that form out. You get like 2 minutes to do it, because then you know what? I gotta end this soon, because your boy On the Moment has their show at 4 o'clock, their 1 year anniversary, and I'm gonna be hopping on there at 5 p.m. Eastern. I know they're having Dumbo on, they're having Feldman on from 4 to 5 to talk some dapper stuff. And then I think the judge is going to be on. I'm going to be on. Mr. Doucette, I believe, is going to be there. So it should be a good time. So go check out the On the Moment stream after you leave here. So fill out the form. It should be on YouTube. I believe it's on OTM's YouTube. It's on. Actually, they might have sent it to me. Hold on. They have not yet, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on their YouTube. It should be starting like any second now. All right, so fill out those forms. Let me see how many responses we've got so far. 19 so far, so you got a good shot. You got a good shot. We got 19 so far. Create a spreadsheet so I can see what's coming in here. Fill it out, baby. Let's see. No link set up yet. All right, so it's not there yet. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Plunge in Discord is where it's at. I need to get in the Plunge in Discord. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't messing with that. I need to get in there. That's where you say, is this where I parked my car? That's one of my favorite. Like, I love that he has like a go-to chat line, you know? All right, looks like we're up to 23 have filled it out. I'll give it another minute. I know some people are having some issues with all day. I recommend closing the browser and starting again from the beginning. I believe I'm in here now, though. Let me just see. Yeah, I'm officially in the queue. We've got 28 minutes to go before drop comes at you. But yeah, we are having some issues with all day today. All day we've been having some issues. All right, we're up to 26. Give it another minute or so. And again, shout out Stan Loves. We love Stan. Oh, all the celebrities are in there. MBL's in there. Arsenic. All the celebs. We love it. Hey, also thanks everybody for hanging around as much as you did today. We did a shit ton of content again. I think we're on like stream 11. Too many. People are asking if there's a Top Shot stress test. I haven't seen it. If it's happening yet. It's not on the website. So not that I'm seeing. Soul Bro. LG is in there too. Everybody loves LG. Ooh, what's up, everybody? All right, I think it's time. Nug Life, good to see Nug Life in here. We are at 28, so only 28. Wanted to give this one away. I'm going to throw your Top Shot username into the wheel right now. Oh, shit. Hold on. This is always interesting. It's like, did I fuck up the wheel, you know? So far, we're good. I'll wait just to make sure no one else. I see Double D just got added. I'm adding you right now. I think it's go time. So let me share this bad boy. There you go. Fu Man's in. Thank you, Ricky. Mike not in there because he's washed. Dude, I think you're right, man. All right, let's double check. Oh, no, V-Hawk. I got V-Hawk, and now I got G-Mac in there as well. Throw you guys into the wheel. All right, let me share screen so we can see it. Now, just a reminder, I'm gonna hook you up with I'll DM you to get your information, and I'll put you in touch with Stan. But just a reminder, you are responsible for paying the gas on this bad boy, okay? You are responsible for paying the gas, all right? Here we go. This is for the Plunge and NFT. Shout out to Plunge Father. Here we go. Winner. Ooh. Is it Skurs? Skirt. All right, who's Skurs? Let me find Skurs' information here. I got your Twitter. Wait, is Skurs Garen? Garen, did you just take this down? All right, Garen. Garen, are you still here, Garen? Show yourself. There he is. Garen, are you in the Discord as well? I should have asked for your Discord name because what I want you to do is link you up with Stan. Garen, what's your name in the Discord if you're in there? Or just shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM if you're on the Discord or in Twitter, and I'm going to put you in touch with Stan. Shout out Stan again, all right, guys? Because, again, Stan has been here since day one. He has been both the rose, like the rose petals and the thorn. You know what I mean? He's been both. And I love Stan quite a bit. So look at that, Stan. Emotional. We're emotional in here. So congratulations. Thank you for doing that. Shout out to LouDog one more time. Everybody go follow Dog Sherman. Go check him out at Lucky Trader. Really fun guy. And then also see you at the Own the Moment stream. And shout out Mihal ripping a LaMelo MGLE right in front of our eyes. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. We will see you either at the OTM show or next week. Good luck with the football drop. We out.